critical. Yeah, Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad, our mission is critical. To speak the truth to the masses. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent Clickbaity. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Throw those squares up if you with it. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Trap Squad, ThirstTrap. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Trap Squad. Let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Throw those squares up if you with it. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Trap Squad, ThirstTrap.
Yo, welcome to another episode of Clickbaity.
What's up, Marcus?
What's going on?
ThirstTrap. What's popping? It is.
It's Terrible Tuesday, ain't it?
Chilling with my brother my mother from another brother, my brother from another mother, Marcus, motherfucking Farrell. What's good, brethren?
Hey man, you know that Black History Month thing was really dope yesterday. Tiger Woods is still alive. That's dope. You know, there's a lot of things that are dope, man. You know what I mean? Like, it was a beautiful day in Atlanta, Georgia today. I took Wody, put him in the passenger side, and we just strolled slow on Boulevard, like we were thinking like we were Jeezy. And you know what I mean? We just rode slow up Boulevard, down Campbellton Road for a second. All these historical Black places in Atlanta, Georgia. You know, hung out on Auburn Avenue in the car. You know, and then he told me he needed to pee, and he was tired of moving around. So that's what's up, man. You know what I mean? We having a good day, having a good time, alive and well, man. How are you today, my brother?
Man, listen, if I was any better, I'd be a twin. I'm having one of the best days of my life, brother. It's Terrible Tuesday.
You be a twin?
If I was any better, I'd be a twin. You know what I'm saying? So I'm out here living, man. I'm glad to see your face, brother. And I know it's gonna be a good night because you were an outcast, which means whenever you talk about Andre 3000 or he's on your mind, you're about to get that fire and the world's about to be blessed. So, you know.
Yeah, no, Andre 3000 is definitely my favorite entertainer. And, you know, he makes me happy because not one sucker MC on the planet, in my humble opinion, to this day, literally say they gonna just outclass and outmuscle Andre 3000 on the microphone. Closely followed by
big facts.
Yeah, closely followed by somewhere within the top 20, Big Boy. But my guy is definitely 3 Stacks, right? Because as one of my partners said, actually this is what Dwayne said. What he said. Okay, I type a text to a girl I used to see. Tell her that I met this cutie pie with whom I want to be.
Who I want to be. So and I CC'd every girl I see around town.
That's
man,
right.
That line is hard, man. Everything.
I mean, the awesome part about Players Anthem, awesome part about Players Anthem was it was a song with so many really, really good rappers on it, on a peak song at a peak time. You had UGK, you had Outkast. And it's sort of like, are y'all sure y'all want Andre to start this whole thing? Because after he's over with, it's sort of like, I don't know anybody else's whole lyrics of the whole song, their whole album, you know, their whole verse besides Andre on that thing. And I could just go down the list of all these, you know, all these tracks that you just don't, like, why would you invite Andre to your album? It's not, you're not trying to shine yourself. You're just trying to have Andre on your album. You're definitely not trying to shine. So, Infinite Content, you paid money to tell me to put some respect on Black Thoughts from the Root's name. I didn't say that's my favorite album, Negro. You can have your favorite shit on your show, Infinite Content. It can be MF Doom or some New York son. dude, but not me. I'm a Southerner, and I like Andre 3000. But thank you for your super chat anyway to my one of my favorite moderators. See, just like I said, one of my favorite MC. One of my favorite moderators is Infinite Content. Don't mean that I don't like no other moderators. I just like Infinite Content. Damn it.
Yeah, he's consistent. And but listen, I mean, I hear people talking about Black Thought. Black Thought is relevant and also should be mentioned in top fives. And there's always a debate, but Black Thought does not equate to what Andre did to culture. Black Thought did not put an entire coast on the map. There's a third coast in rap, and that's the South, and it's because of Outkast, and Outkast is Outkast mainly because of Andre's lyrics. I love Big Boy too. No disrespect to him, but he pales when it comes to talent and Andre 3000. That brother is the most. When people talk about best rappers or best entertainers or anything, they usually leave that brother out, and it's an unfortunate thing. That brother, Toby and Gwingwe, Sahai the Prince, those brothers are the South at its best, man. So I'm with you, Marcus.
Yeah, this is nothing against anybody else. It's like anytime you bring up your artist that you like a lot, somebody got something to say about it. Well, and I'm gonna tell you something. The most famous person that I had a really loud, verbose argument over this same thing was Killer Mike. Me and Killer Mike literally argued for 2 hours straight, face to face, about the best artist rapper of all time. And I guess Killer Mike can have sort of a relevant thought process when it comes down to favorite artists, because number one, he's also a Grammy Award winning rapper. He won a Grammy Award with Outkast, right? So when the conversation came up, a sister said, "So who y'all favorite rappers?" And I said Andre, and boy, you would have thought that somebody went and slapped his mama. He was like, "How you gonna put Andre above Scarface?" And his whole argument was Scarface has a bigger body of work than Andre 3000, right? His whole argument was.
But Marcus, I think that's the problem, though. People think bigger body of work means is equivalent to impact. There are so many people imitating what Andre 3000 did or does every time he touches a mic. It's ridiculous. There's no Kendrick Lamar. There's no J. Cole. There's no a lot of niggas without Andre 3000. And I respect Scarface's body of work. If we're talking about body of work, then he would his argument would have to say that 2 Chainz is more important. I mean, not 2 Chainz. Too Short is more important because this brother has 15, 16 albums. Too Short does. So right. Body of work is important, and Scarface is an important artist, absolutely. But he is not. That is 3 Stacks.
He's not 3 Stacks, man. But I mean, so that was his argument, right? Like, and then it's also a sort of one of these things where it's like, okay, so one of our guests or me and you and somebody, whoever else has been on Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, and then they go off and they win the greatest ever podcast award, right? And all of a sudden, I go and say something like, man, he ain't really the greatest ever podcaster. Hell, he wasn't doing all that shit when he was on Clickbaity, right? So it's sort of like, sometimes if you're familiar with somebody, you don't give them as much credit as they're due. So that might have a little bit to do with it, but I don't know.
Marcus, the Bible said it's hard to be a prophet in your own home. It's hard to be a prophet at home.
That's right.
So what you're saying is biblical, brother. What you're saying is biblical. When you see somebody, when you interact with them on a regular basis like that, it's hard to see their greatness sometimes. It jades you. I did this sometime in Enfield, North Carolina, where I'm from. And that's not to say that Enfield is full of haters, but it's some brothers that grew up with me and knew me when I was reckless in these streets. So when I'm telling them political shit, they want to push back because it's on CNN. And I'm telling them, your perspective is skewed because you're talking about what white people are telling you about our issues, and I live it, and I do this work 24 hours a day for the past 20 years. So you're not lying at all, brother. That's the absolute fact. It's hard to be a prophet at home. But Andre Genius is so powerful. Andre Genius is so powerful that the Negro walks around towns, cities, right now. This is what his brother does, playing harmonicas or different instruments like guitars on the street corners. That's his genius level, bro. I'm serious.
Piper.
He literally just walks around playing different instruments. The dude is wild like that, bro.
Right, and I'm looking through the chat room, and I'm seeing everybody giving up their top, their favorite rappers and stuff like that. And let me tell you something. all y'all got to defend yourselves. All y'all got to defend yourselves in some way or another. I can literally go through a list and tell you why Andre is better than, and then y'all could probably go through the list and tell me why your top person is better than Andre. But
Andre got invited to be on what was one of the most popular songs of a year, White Tee. You remember White Tee came out?
That's right.
Yep. Andre went on these boys song. Andre went on these boys song. It was trending. It was trendy and trending. He went on their song and dissed the trend and dissed them in the most polite way ever. He said, "Your white tee looks like a nightgown." And I probably, man, he just kept going on them. He's talking about these cars they spending money on.
Well, yep. Your white tee to me looks like a nightgown. Make your mama proud. Take that thing 2 sizes down. Then you can act like the man that you are, not who you could be. I don't give a damn about your car unless it would be. And then he went into breaking down the metal composition
Metaverse
of the
plastic.
old cars compared to the plastic right now. And I literally was like, oh, let me break out my book. I'm going to sit back and drink some tea on this one right here. So, yeah. Yeah, he's one of the very few people that never, ever spit a whack verse whatsoever, man. And I mean, listen, this is clickbaity political thirst trap, but I'm a hip hop head, bro. There's people that you will hardly ever hear of or you never heard of, and each one of them got somebody like that within their own region. That some folks even still consider the best to this day. You know what I mean? Home Team. There's a group called Home Team back in the day. It only came out with one song, and some of y'all might have heard it before. It was called Pick It Up. Home Team was rapping fast as hell. And the first group before Outkast that was rapping fast, and it made sense, right? But a lot of people in my area consider them the best, man. I'm from Florida, man. JT Money, believe it or not, is considered Home Team. You remember this song, Pick It Up, Pick It Up?
Yeah.
Pick It Up, Pick It Up. Yeah. I mean,
you can't slip on them.
There's a lot of, what I'm saying is there's a lot of groups that didn't break through the barrier and are just some amazing groups that okay, I'm gonna tell you something. If you go through the canon of music, you know who's an all-time great that people will never give their props to? Trick Daddy.
Ooh. He ain't the all-time great. He great.
I didn't say all time. No, I didn't say all time. That's not my words. I said who could be considered a great, right? And the reason why is because he was a part of. People forget. Trick's first song was on an Uncle Luke track. What was the song? That's I forgot that song.
That's some Florida shit. But listen,
because I'm a Florida boy. I mean, I'm a Florida boy. Listen, all day, all night.
In defense of Florida rap, because we need to do this. In defense of Florida rap, and we should stay in Florida for a second because we got to talk about another Florida resident, right? But I'm talking about Tiger Woods. But let's keep it a buck. Listen, Trick Daddy did for the world what nobody was ready for. Trick Daddy made an album that was a salute to thugs. Now
that's right.
We could talk about, but I'm gonna tell you why this is important, because American thug is synonymous with black man for all the wrong reasons. Trick told the world what was right and lovable and also important to our communities about these brothers that the world was labeling as thugs. Trick's idea of a definition of thug, when he said, "Oh baby, I'm a thug," in his song, he was telling people, yes, the ratchet shit that comes with us, but also the honesty, the commitment, and the loyalty to community, family, and folk that you're loyal to, friends. And that was like, people listen to that album for the ratchet shit, but they miss so much. There's a whole song on that album. There's a whole song on that album where where the chorus is done by kids, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he also embodied the criminal justice system, and he took them all to task. Like, it was a part of that same song. He was like, fuck the police, fuck the CO, fuck the district attorney, fuck everybody.
So right? The COO and all of them.
Yeah, you know all what I mean? So, hey, before we get into our Florida resident, man, I want to get this out the way because we touched on it yesterday. And let's talk about Joe Biden for a second. Dwayne, I don't know if you could find my tweet that I put up or my Facebook post that I put up, but that's if you can't eat, that's fine. But I'm gonna talk about Joe. I want to talk about Joe with you for a second, Mondale, because I mean, to me, politics should be as simple as doing what you say you're gonna do. And when you're on a presidential level, right? Unless unless you're Joe Biden, right? You know, like because Joe Biden is known for saying whatever comes to his mind, which whether it's good or it's bad, but he's known for saying whatever on his mind. But when you, for the most part, anything that you say, any policy point that you put out, anything that you say you're going to do, there's about anywhere from 5 to 100 people who go and do research to see if it's possible, to see if it makes sense, to see if that's a viable thing that needs to be said, or do you need to immediately walk it back, right?
Right.
And Joe Biden, you know, he said he's going to do some things, but and here's the thing, you know, there's a lot of moderate people too. In my opinion, there's a lot of moderate people. There's a lot of moderate leadership. There's a lot of people who are like, give Joe Biden a chance, or just shut up. He's still in his first couple of days. It's time for you guys to just shut up and stop complaining, and we'll do things on our own time. Because if you point out any hypocrisy in what somebody says versus what they do, you know, there's a whole establishment industry that wants to stop you from even pointing out how he can get better, because you know, black folks are just supposed to be happy that we have a Democrat elected. But I'm going to point out a couple of things that Joe Biden said. Joe Biden said that he was going to give us them checks, man.
We need them.
As a Georgia voter, he said to me a couple days before the Capitol rise, he said to me, as a black Georgia voter in Fulton County, if y'all get Ossoff and Warnock elected, the checks will be out the door. That's what he said. That you can't. That's not a lie. I'm not just making that up. That's a fact, right? He goes to my post on it right here. If Joe Biden said if we voted for Warnock and Ossoff, $2,000 checks will be out the door. We came through and he didn't. Y'all don't at me, but this is why people say both parties are the same. Why we as them should do what we say we're gonna do, or it will be weaponized against us in the midterms. And the reason why I say that, when I make these statements like this right here, everybody think I'm just trying to cause trouble. Folks were in my inbox more mad at me than mad at Joe Biden for promising me $2,000. That's what happened to me once I posted this today. Moderate Democrats were in my inbox upset with me because I said this instead of being upset with Joe Biden because he said he was going to give us $2,000.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, man.
Listen, you and I disagree on this statement, because what I took from it was that Joe Biden said that, you know, they were going to make $2,000. So I was thinking that the 600 that people got was going to be increased by 1,400. Here's my problem though, and why you are right in your anger and your frustration with this administration already. We already see Joe Biden starting to walk back and tell lies to people in a moderate way. And we got to call them lies because we call Donald Trump lies. When Joe Biden goes on CNN and said to the people that he can't wipe away $50,000 for student loan debt, he's lying. We know for a fact that he can do that. So what I'm saying to you is our differences in what we thought Joe Biden was saying as a president-elect and what we see right now is small compared to our problems with him and how he's showing up in the world. And he's showing up extremely toxic towards people who put him in office. We need the federal administration, not just $50,000. They need to make all student loan go away, period. But they're not doing it because of what? Their loyalty to banks, lobbyists, and other well-moneyed interests. And that's the problem. And I think that's what you're saying. At the root of what you're saying is Joe Biden is willing to sacrifice the needs of people who put him in office, Georgia voters, black voters, for what's best for his banking friends. And that's bad news. That's real bad news.
Mandela messes with our integrity, bro. It messes with your integrity. Just follow what I'm saying. Just follow what I'm saying. Not like this is not like attacking anybody, but it messes with people like me who went and talked to people and said, "Yo, did you hear what Joe Biden said about $2,000?" Like you guys, he said he was making these talking points, making us want to go get motivated by Ossoff and Warnock, and we were getting other people motivated by Ossoff and Warnock using his words. You know what I mean? I mean, if you can't trust the guy who just got elected as president saying to you, if you get Ossoff and Warnock elected, then we'll get $2,000 out the door, and $2,000 hadn't come yet. Am I crazy, Trap Squad? Am I losing my shit here? Am I the bad? Does this make Clickbaity political thirst trap for pointing this out the bad guys? Because if we are, we're gonna continue to be the bad guys. We can't stop talking about this one right here. Unfortunately, when you say things to us and we utilize those things to get people who do not trust the political process already to come and do something that they don't normally do, and then you back away from it when it happens, you're the reason why some of these brothers and sisters saying government ain't shit and Democrats are not different from Republicans. Because the only thing, and I'm gonna tell you something, during COVID, I want everybody in America to understand this. In Fulton County, we had some of the highest cases of COVID, some of the highest cases of unemployment, some of the highest cases of everything that happened bad in America happened in Fulton County. And black people still buttoned up their fucking shirt and went and voted for Ossoff and Warnock and Joe Biden. We weren't concerned, folks, we weren't concerned about a lot of issues. But when you start talking about giving people $2,000 for COVID relief, that's when a lot of people were like, what?
Marcus, I think what happens though is you do your argument a disservice when we leave it in Fulton County. Let's talk about people who are worse off than bro. Hold on. Let me strengthen your argument real quick, brother.
Okay.
Let me strengthen your argument real quick. Because it's brothers and sisters who are worse off in Georgia. They're buttoning up their shit too, and when the brothers and sisters that live in the rural parts who are dealing with racism, these brothers and sisters have one factories, and we know this is a fact, Marcus. You was in the event when the brother said people in southern Georgia were being threatened by one of the only factories in that town, which are owned by a Republican. If they go vote, if you go vote, we're working polls, right? And if you vote for a Democrat, you're gonna lose your job. Those people still button up their shit and went to vote. So they are owed what they were promised.
Yeah, I mean,
so what they were promised.
I agree. There's a lot of poor people in the state of Georgia who, don't forget, Georgia still has less than the $5 an hour. I mean, less than the $6 an hour minimum wage. Like, so that money would have paid some bills, and y'all playing political games with it. And then you got people protecting y'all like, don't say nothing about it. Just cover up your eyes. No, because y'all about to lose, man. And y'all gonna let the next fascist who's smart or the old fascists come back and win. That's right. This can affect turnout. Because if I'm a Republican, I say, well, shoot, at least I got some kind of money to you.
Dwayne, put the last comment back on the screen. Go ahead, Marcus.
At least I got some kind of comment up. At least I got some kind of cash to you. So you know what, man? Like, and another thing, and this kind of brings up another thing. Listen, when I say the word immigrant, when I say the word immigrant in America, you know, America immediately thinks, and I have no, and first let me go back and say, I have no problem with acknowledging my Latinx, my Latino and Latina and Latinx brothers and sisters who are a part of a foul immigration system, right? But when I say that, you automatically think of folks crossing the border in Texas, New Mexico, California, and Arizona. You think of Mexican people and of Honduras people and people from um, uh, uh, lower North America and South America, right? Those are the people that you think of. But what you don't really realize is that there's a high percentage of immigrants who are black, man, who are black and Latino, who are just blackity black, like nothing else, just black, no Spanish. You know, some of them speak English. Most of them speak English, actually, if you want to keep it 1,000, right? And Joe Biden, you know, he spent a good portion of his campaign talking about how he was going to basically reform the immigration system and stop people from being deported, right? So this is a tweet right here. Donald Trump's inhumane, fear-based immigration policies are a stain on our nation. We have to get him out of the White House and ensure our laws reflect our values as a nation of immigrants. And that was on February 15th, 2020. Let's go to the next one, Dwayne. Let's go to the next one.
Shit crazy. This shit crazy.
Democracy Now! Says Cecilia Muniz, who defended family separations under Obama, joins the Biden transition team, right? And that was 11/13, 2020, right? So let's go to the next one. Even more stuff. Biden committed to stopping deportations. 26,248 immigrants have been deported under his watch. Over 1,000 are black immigrants from Haiti, Jamaica, Trinidad, Cameroon. Stop the deportation. So
man, say that number again, bro. Say that number again. Stop playing.
26,248. Listen,
black people.
Listen,
26
black people.
Listen. Hold
26,
on. That's because Marcus, because we say 26,000, we think that number stops there, brother. We can't.
No, I'm just.
How many
saying,
family members? How many family members are affected by that deportation, bro? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. When you deport one person, you don't stop one person. That person is making money. So that's usually affecting a house that has more like a blended family. It's not like these traditional American families where it's just a husband, a wife, and kids. It's a husband, a wife, a kids. It's their aunts, their uncles, and you taking away that salary does a lot of harm and injustice to those people. All of those people saying that you're going to stop it under your watch, Biden, is cool, but you need to do more to stop it. You need to bring those, you need to repatriate those people back into this country. Well, stopping it ain't enough. The harm is done.
Mondale, the thing that I want to say is, so far 26,248 deportations since he's been elected. That might be the most potent thing he's done as an elected official so far. That might be the most effective thing he's done as a politician so far, whether good or bad. As our president, that's the thing he's done the best. That's right. Continue. And this is not what he promised us, folks. Like, here's the thing. During the campaign, you were not under the insinuation that Joe Biden was going to deport people, were you? As an American voter, as the people who voted for Joe Biden, were you under the insinuation in your brain that you thought that Joe Biden was going to, did you really think that Joe Biden was going to deport people? Did you think that? Because if you thought that, you saw this,
that ain't what they told us.
Campaign.
Listen, he campaigned against the idea that this was even possible, bro. Like that, the shenanigans. Listen, we are being gaslit right now. We're being gaslit right now. And you know who's helping with this? Not the squad, so I don't want to hear that shit. It's the Progressive Caucus, which is mostly made up by white members.
We got one more.
The entire Progressive Caucus. The entire, hold on, because I want to get to the other tweet. But Marcus, because you're talking about some shit that's important, bro, and we got to stay here for a second. Marcus, we got to stay here for a second. Joe Biden, and I got to stay, and I want to stay here, Marcus, because I gave you a lot of shit after this motherfucker won his election.
You did.
I gave you a lot of shit, bro. Deporting 28,000 people in this short period of time is a continuation of Obama's administration. And we cannot be okay with that many Black people being kicked out of this country. We cannot sit idle and act as this is not a small thing. This is absolutely disgusting. We know when policies affect other people, they affect our communities in a larger way. Joe Biden saying that he's going to stop it is not enough. I'm talking about the families these families will be shifted forever because of these deportations. Stopping it is not the cure. Bringing these people back to this country is the cure. That is not a small thing. If motherfuckers were screaming about forcing a vote in Congress that really didn't mean shit at all, and they're not screaming about this, this is why you're not progressive. This is why I'm telling you, white progressives have a fucked up analogy on what the world is and what's important to life. We have no time for this bullshit if we're not gonna tell the truth. Marcus, you know it, bro. What you're saying is not small. We should be disgusted that this president, elected by Black people, I should say elected by the real progressives in this country, is treating Black people this fucking way.
When we have, man, these people can just say whatever the fuck they want to us. When y'all gonna wake up, America? Real talk. When y'all gonna wake up? Y'all gonna wake up during the primaries, right? Like, are y'all gonna wake up? Y'all gotta wake up during the primaries, right? Right? Are you gonna wake up when you? Because I mean, first they come for the immigrants. Then listen. First they come from somebody else. Then they come from somebody else, and finally they'll be coming from you. These white folks in this country already showed us. These white supremacists in this country already showed us they're willing to take down the Capitol. So you got, I mean, if in any place that you thought Joe Biden was going to, I need somebody to help me. Did anybody think Joe Biden was going to continue deportations? I didn't think this be answered.
And at this point, Marcus, at this point, fuck you for talking about Donald Trump administration, Joe Biden. For real, fuck you. Because anything Donald Trump did executive order-wise, you could have already undone it. So the fact that we're 30 plus days into your administration and you're still trying to blame Donald Trump works on cable TV, but it doesn't work over here. That is bullshit. This is not a Donald Trump administration problem. This is a Joe Biden problem. And you cannot push this on anybody else. 28,000 Black immigrants have been deported under Joe Biden's administration. And if we're not fucking pissed about that, we're lying about our progressive bona fides. All of us. All of us. This is not a small thing. We have to be outraged. If you are a member of the Trap Squad right now, your congressperson, your senator needs a call. Both of your senators need calls. This is not okay. We can't sit idle. I'm telling you, I know immigrant families that are affected by this fucked up shit. When you snatch somebody's body, one day they have a job and they're providing income for families, and all of a sudden they're gone, you do damage. You do damage that's not fixed by stopping deportation. The way you fix it is bring those people back and you replace the income that you stole from them and address the fucking trauma that you caused.
That's
Fuck
right.
out of here with that.
That's right.
This is not small. This is not small. We can't be okay with this, bro. We can't.
So we had one more tweet. Dwayne, were you about to say something? We got one more tweet we got to put on. I just wanted to put a negative cherry on this whole conversation. There's one more thing that the Biden administration is doing. They are actually
Marcus, do the lead up to that tweet, Marcus, before Dwayne posted on the air. Go ahead and do the lead up for it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's just I was on my way there, man. Like these people are literally deciding that they're going to start opening.
Look at this shit.
Migrant facilities for children under.
Can I say something, Marcus?
Yeah, go ahead, Mondale.
Marcus,
go ahead.
Can I say something? Bro?
Yeah.
I need Dwayne, take this tweet down for a second because I need everybody on the Trap Squad to look at me right now. I don't give a fuck how pretty your prison is for kids. It's still a fucking cage, bro. This shit is not okay. The fact that you got money for this shit, but not to give people their $2,000 is problematic, bro. Joe Biden, this is a sellout. Anybody applauding that these kids are no longer in cages are disgusting to me because what you're saying is Well, at least he's not treating them like Joe Papaya or Papaya, who's putting people in pink fucking prison uniforms and in cages in the desert. They're still in prison, bro. I don't give a fuck what you call it. A building or a tent or a cage is still prison for kids. This is not okay, man. What are we doing? This is not okay. This is not okay, Marcus. This is not okay, bro.
I'm not All right, listen, check this out. I'm messing up if I vote for another moderate. I'm messing
We said
up
we
if I
wouldn't
vote-
do it. Marcus,
Yeah,
we said we wouldn't
I'm
do it,
messing
bro.
up.
We told ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I can't, like, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. Like, I put my shame away. And some of you ultra woke, super, righteous in this indignation as people in the world are like, you need to vote third party, you need to do this, that, and the other. Some of y'all should feel good right now. It is what it is, right? But I decided to go vote for Joe Biden over Donald Trump because of, fascism. As Dr. West said many times during the primary, I would much rather take a neoliberal over a neo-fascist, right? And even Dr. West voted for Joe Biden, I believe, I recall. He said he was.
He did. He's on our show. He said he did.
Right.
With cognac, a lot of cognac.
Yeah, with a lot of cognac, right? But I mean, I can't vote for this shit no more. I can't watch bourgeoisie black folks who got their job within administration and within government celebrate life is all good because I'm getting paid and I finally get to check off White House next to my resume, and you don't say a goddamn thing about the poorest and the worst of us getting deported from the country. No, you don't get to celebrate. I'm so happy that COVID going on right now for one reason and one reason alone, because y'all can't have your little stupid ass parties celebrating each other at your little funky ass galas while American people are fucking hurting right now as we speak. And y'all are trying to figure out the best ways to spin a fucking narrative about what Joe Biden promised not happening. It's that simple. I no longer need to vote for that anymore. I no longer need to see the halfway truth and be like, okay, well, the devil that the devil that I know is still killing people and putting people to hell.
The devil that I know still lives in hell.
And it wouldn't even be a question if he did something. Like, listen, what I was asking for was abolishing the police and defunding the police. What I was asking for was a living wage. What I was asking for was ending deportation. I was very far to the left. I accepted what you proposed to the table, and your ass ain't even doing it. And the minions around you are the same people who are trying to gaslight America right now, change the focus of what we need to care about to nothing but what happened on January 6th, which is very important. But on the same token, y'all are taking your own sweet time with that also. Y'all want to change the focus over to China and what's going on overseas in Iraq real quick. We haven't heard a goddamn word about Iraq from damn Democrat in the past 7 months. Because we had our own shit to worry about. You remember what all y'all ran on? Domestic policy.
Right.
Y'all ran on domestic policy. These people ran on domestic policy. They weren't running on anything else. They were running on domestic policy. As soon as you get the reins, all of a sudden mainstream media and everybody else turns the pages to, oh, now it's time for us to focus on Iraq. I ain't Iraqing shit. I'm focused on one thing, and that is the American government right here, right now, where the fuck we at. So if you came to Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap looking for an analysis on, hold on, I ain't finished, Mondale. If you came to Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap looking for an analysis on what's going on in Iraq right now, we know what's going on in Iraq. The military-industrial complex needs their money now.
We do know.
So that's what's going on in Iraq. We know what's going on in China. The military-industrial complex needs their money right now. That's what's going on in China. We need to start beating the war hammer right now, because guess what? Beating the war hammer and getting more money to the war machine is way more important than getting us $2,000.
Yo, let me say something real quick. Yo, guys, I'm part of us, half of the show, me, is in front of a live audience. So the noise you guys are hearing, I just want to let y'all know it's because after this show, we are going to continue Black Male Voters Project, uh, Brothers Be Voting Roundtable. We're doing a Brothers Be Voting Roundtable where we're getting information from Black men about what's important to them. So the noise you're hearing is the live audience. So bear with us. This is the second night. We know that these conversations are super important because they lead the program. What Black Male Voter Project will be talking about. So the noise you're getting in the background is that. Marcus, what I wanted to say to you is, brother, you don't know it, but you just said some king shit. And the difference is you said it not at the end of your career when you were about to get assassinated. You said it right now. In the beginning of Joe Biden's administration, you said something that King said. I feel like I've led my people into a burning house. Bro, every day for the past 7 or 8 days, I woke up feeling like the reason I told Dwayne to put that comment back on the screen that the brother made about how do you tell Black men or how you register Black men and keep your face, how much political capital I spend. We don't do voter registration. Marcus, you know I don't do voter registration. But still, voter engagement, talking about why you got to get your ass up and leave work and stand in line in the rain, sometimes snow, and go vote for Joe Biden right now is wearing heavy on my conscience, bro. It's wearing real heavy on my conscience, Marcus. And then today, to make it worse, well, last Wednesday when he did that fucking shit with Anderson Cooper as if it was cool, and so freely told a lie. You lied, Joe Biden. Joe Biden can easily EO, executive order, all fucking student loan away because our government is set up in a way where the Department of Education can get rid of all the student loan debt if they want to. We just gotta be, bro, that is a spit in the face. If he would have just said, I want Congress to do something about it, that would have been different. But to get on TV and say, I don't have the authority, is to lie to me the way Donald Trump lied to people. And if I was critical of Donald Trump, I'm obligated to be critical of this old white motherfucker too. I'm not okay with it, bro. It's not sitting good with my soul. I'm fucked up about it. And then today, to learn that 28,000 Black immigrants, 26,000 Black immigrants have been deported.
1,000. Yeah.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify. I said 26,000 Black. The real number is 26,000 total. They say 1,000 Black. We know whenever they say 1,000, you multiply that by whatever, because we Black people, so we know what that means, right? We Marcus, when they tell us 5 or 6 million Black Africans were stolen, we know they ain't counting numbers right from Africa to become slaves. We know it was more. When they say it's 12 million, we know it's 20 million.
I mean, they're building an apartment complex for kids right now. So I mean, like
a prison for kids right now.
They're building homes for kids right now. They're not even certain if they're going to deport or not. This wasn't last summer. Look at the date, folks. 2/22/21. This was yesterday. This was yesterday, folks. Y'all better get y'all cousins, man. We got to have people who actually gonna fight for us and not for Wall Street, not for these complexes, these industrial complexes that are controlling America right now. You thought you had some control of America. The only time we really had control, they trick us at. That's at the voting booth. If I was a pessimist, and some of y'all were just right, man. Like, these people don't know how to do anything. Like, we negotiate bad, right? They say, well, $2,000 is too much. Listen, these people are saying that they're giving us $2,000 a month. They don't want us to get used to getting $2,000 a month. Why? We know y'all got it, right? We want to be a socialist country for the billionaires and a fascist country for the poorest of us all.
Wow. Say it again. Shut up. Say it slower, and then you got to unpack that shit. Say that shit again.
We just want to be. We want to be a socialist country for the billionaires, and we want to be a fascist country for the poorest of us all. And let me explain that. American people, the American populace, who are not billionaires and millionaires, they didn't get a tax cut. The billionaires and millionaires didn't have to wait till Biden figured out a way to find the money to do a tax cut, or Trump figured out a way to do a tax cut. They didn't have to figure that out. It just happened. And folks on both sides of the aisle benefited from it. But the American people, you know what we get? We get crumbs. We get an argument placed on us, and then we get the police departments across the nation harassing us on a daily basis. Poor white people, poor black people, poor brown people. That's how it's fascist. They keep us worried about cops killing all of us, basically, especially black people. And meanwhile, the billionaires are receiving socialism. They're not paying their fair share. A 1% tax increase on the billionaires is something that they're not even willing to do, man. Come on, man. We gotta figure out something better to do, because at this point, how this country is going, like, and it's not like we don't have the money. It's almost as if leadership in this country is like, we just need you guys to be poor. And that's Reaganomics, man. That's Reaganomics.
Marcus, listen, let's talk about Reaganomics. I'm glad
we haven't changed since Reagan. We haven't changed since Reaganomics, bro. Like, what we're doing right now.
We got worse. Let me say something, because this is important. Because people need to hear what the fuck you're saying. Because, brother, you are giving a fucking scholarly lesson right now on the fucked up parts of capitalism. First of all, capitalism and survival should have nothing to fucking do with each other. Period. People should be able to survive whether they're a part of capitalism or not. Two things we don't talk about that are real right now. The world needs less fucking workers than it ever did because of technology. The world will never need as many workers as it used to, which means everybody being born should be taken care of. They should have a guaranteed fucking wage, period. Because we will never need as many workers as we used to need. The second thing you were saying, Mark, is talking about Reaganomics. Listen, in the 80s, there were 12 billionaires most in this country, at most, Marcus. You hear me, brother?
Mm-hmm.
There's hundreds of billionaires right now. And people are still fucking starving. Stop playing that you believe that from the 80s to now, we went from 12 to fucking hundreds of billionaires. Now think about this. The first billionaire in the world wasn't even fucking created to 1918, John Rockefeller. But since the 80s, you see the growth in that shit? That's the fucking problem with Republicans' policies and economic ideas, that they believe that bullshit, bro. How many motherfucking poor people, if you look at the growth of poor people versus the growth of billionaires in this country since the same time frame from the 80s to the fucking now, it's absolutely disgusting, Marcus. Niggas need to be paying you for scholarly lessons for what you're saying. And people better not. No one on this show better not miss the importance of fucking screaming against billionaires. There's no such thing as pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. That's not what happens. The government decides to support what the fuck you're doing, as corrupt as it is, and you become a billionaire, period. That's how it happens. There ain't no other fucking excuse. There ain't no other way. That's the only way it happens.
That's
the
right.
Government supports your bullshit, and you become a billionaire. And at the expense of how many people? Starving.
That's right. I mean, I talk about Rep 1. We talk about reparations. We talk about, like, let me tell you something. What scares me the most about reparations, they won't even give poor white people $2,000. I'm going to repeat that. You know what scares me about reparations, America? I'm going to repeat that one so y'all hear what I'm saying clearly. You know what scares me about reparations that are owed to black people? They won't even give poor white people $2,000.
Right.
They argue amongst themselves about giving white people $2,000. And I know they're talking about everybody, but there's a lot more white people who need this $2,000 than black people. And because statistically that's true, because there's a lot more poor white people.
Or just raw numbers is true.
Yeah, raw numbers is true.
Right.
So, my thing is, okay, Biden could pass HR 40, Rep 1, right?
Hold on a second, Marcus. Dwayne, let you and Tunde get us some comments on the screen. I just like to read what our audience how they responded to what Marcus is saying and what I'm saying. Just put me some comments on the screen so I can see that as we keep going. Go ahead, Marcus.
We talk about Rep 1 and what Joe Biden says he wants to do and wants to pursue. And when we talk about that, when we talk about Rep 1 and what Joe Biden, can we make that smaller? Half of my face is showing.
People can still see your light skin, man. Get the fuck out of here.
But when we talk about Rep 1 and what we want to see, right? When we talk about it, the thing about HR 40 is that HR 40 is going to be a study to bring up facts, and you can't half-ass facts, right? Like you can't half-ass a study because you bring in scholarly people. It's not like you bring in a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter or a reparations supporter, right? You bring in mathematically sound people who do nothing but look at facts that are delivered to them in a scientific way because they're not willing to risk their intellectual or their educational integrity over trying to make something happen for a study. No, they're just going to present the facts. Now, once the facts are presented about reparations, that's when we're going to start seeing more of the fuckery from the establishment, because they're going to have to figure out a way. That's why I'm surprised they're even willing to have a study. And I'm interested in seeing what that commission looks like, because they're going to have to half-ass it. Because the one thing that Republicans and Democrats don't like is stats that don't fit their favor. Democrats like facts way more than Republicans do. That's a factual thing. That's a factual statement. But even Democrats don't like facts that don't fit their favor, right? Nobody likes the facts, the stats right now that are around Andrew Cuomo. They don't like those facts. They don't like that, right? So those facts can be argued in the court of law. I mean, not in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion to Democrats, right? They're going to have to do the same thing with HR 40.
But listen,
no matter whether you like HR 40, hold on, no matter whether you like HR 40 or not, no matter whether you like it or not, it's the study of reparations and what's owed to people. It's not the bill that is created. We need to remember that. It's the study of it. That's all I want to say. You got it.
Well, because I want to be honest to what the sister proposed, because the good sister from Texas who put this bill forward, Black women always do what Black women do, showing the fuck up for our communities. Let me correct that. Black women don't always show up for our communities, because to say that is to discount the fact that Candace Owens exists and Omarosa exists, and sometimes they don't show up for our communities. But this sister shows up for our community all the time. And so I do want to say that Rep 40 this time also, it does not just, it's not just a bill to study the effects of slavery anymore. It also is a bill for a commission to put forth remedies on how you correct what this. So they name problems in this bill, but this commission is also designed to say, this is how you fix it. And that's a beautiful fucking thing, brother. The thing about it is, which one of these motherfucking politicians gonna have the gall, Marcus, to take up what it takes to address reparations in this country? So we know HB 40 is a thing, and it does more than what it normally does, which is just to study it. It also requires them to put forth remedies for the problems that were created by slavery, Jim Crow, and years of racist institutions. So let's see, and I'm happy it does, because once they come back, once this panel that they decided, and you already said, Marcus, that it's about facts. It's gonna put forth facts, and what you're gonna do with these facts. So when you get these facts, and they say, well, the way you address this part of it is you give this amount. The way you address this part is you remove taxes from these people, or the way you address this is you make education debt go on for these people. And when we see these white people silent on that, then we get to judge them. We get to judge them.
That's right.
And that's what I'm excited about. Let me say something to y'all. Yeah, Marcus. I was about to say the same thing. We're gonna take a break. I know you want to go to a break, Marcus. I swear I was about to go there. But let me say something to y'all. I swear to you, we have Tunde and Dwayne working their ass off we have topics for you all. I promise you, we never come to this show without topics. 4 or 5 topics that we're gonna discuss with you all. But what you get on this show is motherfuckers like Marcus and myself get stuck on a topic, and we give you this much depth and conversation on one topic. And it's important. I'm gonna tell you why it's important. Because what we're talking about is killing Black people. The lack of action on these topics and these issues are killing Black people. Not proverbially, but in real life.
For real.
Black people are dying because of inaction. So we need y'all to be patient that we're staying on topics for longer than you see on MSNBC, CNN, and anywhere else on this so-called progressive internet. Information is not. Knowledge is not motherfucking power. What you do with it is power. We want to incite movement with knowledge from you all. That's why the Trap Squad is powerful. Go ahead, Marcus.
Yeah. Like and share this post. We're about to take a break real quick. Like, share this post. Join us on Patreon, man. Join us on Patreon. Send up some super chats, man. If you got like $2 or $3 and $1.99, man, send us something so we can keep.
It all matters, man.
So we can keep Dwayne and Tunde from cheating on us too hard. You know what I mean? So go ahead and give us some of your love, some of your acorns if you can, or just some love in general. But more than anything, like just share this post. Like this post wherever you are, like it, share it on your Facebook people, share it right now. All of you share it. YouTube people, subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe to our channel right now. Subscribe. Then create another account and subscribe from that account. God damn it! And while you're doing it, don't forget to like this shit. Like it, please.
Yeah, like this post right here so we can beat the algorithm. And with that being said, hey, could I haven't heard any Dust Lord, Dwayne. What's going on? Can we? Okay, well, let's go to the break real quick.
Trap Squad, 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 Trap Squad. Hey! Clickbaity political. Yeah, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Clickbaity, ThirstTrap, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, let me hear ya. Trap Squad, Trap Squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, yeah I see you, yeah I see you. Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, ThirstTrap, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad, Trap Squad.
Two fools who laugh at death. Do you know what horrors lie beyond that wall?
No.
Then you go first.
Yeah, do that. Yes, sir!
That's right, Peter Low Frequency. You like the music? Find Dust Lord on YouTube, Bandcamp, Spotify, and most streaming services. Thank you so much for your support, Trap Squad. That's from Pete Low Frequency, a member of Dust Lord. Thank you for providing that dope ass, hard ass. Man, I love that track so much. I'm gonna play that track every day if I'm allowed to, because that right there is like the perfect thing. Plus, you wouldn't expect it from two dope boys in the Cadillac. Outcast record.
But you'll get it though. But you'll get it though. But you're
gonna get that from two dope boys in the Cadillac. Hey, we got a picture of Mondale eating that chicken wing.
Nah, y'all better not have that shit, bro.
Did we take a picture of Mondale eating that chicken wing?
Dwayne, if you screenshot me eating that shit, Marcus, I was licking my fingers too, my nigga. Hold on. wait. You ain't gotta be like that, dude.
Dwayne, you a better man than me. No.
Marcus.
Right. Dwayne, you a better man than me. I would have snapshotted it. I would have highlighted it. I would have put a magnifying bubble on it.
Yo, we love y'all. We love y'all. We really do. I want y'all to know this. I don't know if people know it or not. It may seem like that we're just up here kicking this shit and giving y'all facts. There's a lot that goes into Clickbaity with ThirstTrap.
Hold on. Pause. Sorry, Mondale. Pause. Hey,
go ahead, brother.
Pete, you better tell them copyright people not to fuck with us now. Listen, you sent me that song. We have permission from the group to use the song. Now, unless we gonna talk, Pete. Like inbox me later on. Don't be sending me music I can't use. God damn it.
Wait, we can't use the music? What's going on?
No, he just said, I get him. He said we might be getting hit by a copyright strike sooner or later, but we will sort it out for you. That's awesome because and that means that they're doing good. If we're getting hit with a copyright suit, that means that Dust Lord is doing good, and we cannot be mad at that because the original, I don't know if everybody remembers this, but the original way that we started was talking about artists and how they needed to be elevated, and Dust Lord gave us a shout out, gave us a super chat, sent us their music, and allowed us to play their music. So yeah, just don't get our because we like our little show, man. You know,
we absolutely like our little show, and I need y'all to know this. When you all, if we are getting hit by copyright infringements, so this is important because people need to know, the more those infringements take away from us and our ability to add ads and also feed Dwayne and other folk that we feed on this show. So y'all make sure that y'all are taking care of us and not doing that, all right? So here's what I do want to say. Marcus and I are two black ass motherfuckers from black ass spaces that argue. Marcus gets on my fucking nerves sometimes, and I get on his nerves, but it don't matter because guess what? You don't get to say shit right now, Marcus. I will fuck you up, light skin. What you get here, you can't get it from Don Lemon. I listen. I'm gonna say something to y'all, and I don't give a fuck if all of y'all clip it. I love Ben Dixon, but you can't get what you're getting here from my brother Ben Dixon. You can't get it from Roland Martin. And if Roland got a problem with me saying that, I'll just tell y'all, it is what it is. Marcus and I provide motherfucking opportunities to learn shit about politics that niggas don't. I'm gonna tell you why. Marcus has a significant amount of experience on campaigns, and and so do I. I've had 125 campaigns. Yeah, fuck Marcus' face, because Marcus don't like these conversations. I don't give a fuck.
I ain't why I looked at you crazy. You said you gonna whoop my light skinned ass. Boy, I come across the screen on you, boy.
Here we go with this shit. Bitch, I don't want to fight you, Marcus. I want to play your punk ass in basketball, nigga. Challenge me. Challenge me on
I'm laughing because you ain't gonna win, Mondale. You ain't gonna win.
Challenge me one-on-one. Challenge me one-on-one, fam.
We don't believe you, man.
Bro, if the Trap Squad wants to see me and Marcus one-on-one, y'all let us know in the chat right now.
Yeah,
if you want to pay for Patreon, listen, a paid charity match. Charity meaning is gonna go to Clickbaity, and we're gonna pay Dwayne and Tunde. Let us know, because I'm gonna whoop Marcus' ass. He might score 4 points. A game to 11. Marcus, let me know if you're ready. We should rent out a YMCA and go in there in a socially distanced event, and let me whoop that ass. Pause in motherfucking basketball, bro. I promise you won't get more than 5 points. Yeah, you can get silent all you want to. I'm telling you the truth and you know it. You scared names. Take the challenge up, bro.
First, not only I take the challenge, but you know how people talk their ass into an ass whooping sometimes.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
You know how some people
Marcus,
just
stop,
like
stop.
literally.
Marcus.
Wait, pause now. Because you ran your mouth.
Hold on.
Shut the fuck up, though. Shut the fuck up, Mondale. You done ran your mouth. You done ran your mouth. I'm gonna respond to you. Let me say one thing. Challenge. No, ain't no one thing. Ain't no one thing.
Listen, y'all. Listen.
Ain't no nothing. You know how you walk your way into an ass whooping America?
Listen, y'all. Marcus was one of the best basketball players in the military. I don't play sports. I'm talking shit. Marcus, who averaged double digits in the military league. I ain't never played no organized basketball in my life. I'm gonna still whoop his ass though, y'all.
I can't do many things.
For the Trap Squad.
I can't do many things good, folks. Right? You know, I used to be able to dunk from like, you know, the quarter. I used to be able to dunk from a long way away. I used to be able to do putback dunks and stuff like that, right? I used to be able to hit 3-pointers from halfway across half court, right? Hey, you know what? At one point, I was ambidextrous. Now I'm just left-handed. I probably can't run. Huh?
You ain't ambidextrous. You amphibious.
Whatever you want to call it, right? You were amphibious, right? There's a lot of things that I could do. I used to wear a size 30 in jeans, 32, right? All those things.
Marcus, look at that comment. Look at that comment right now, nigga.
How about spelling bee instead? Don't need to say Archie first. Here's the thing about Mondale. He doesn't understand this right here. I told him this. I will die before I let him beat me. So I might like literally I would die before I let him beat me publicly. I would die, dog. I just have that kind of mentality. I told y'all. Remember I said I'm Wolverine. I mean, I'm black. You know what I mean? Like I'm a mix between Wolverine and the Black Panther. But the Wolverine part of me is like I will hurt myself before I let you beat me. So Mondale, he continue talking.
Hold on. Listen to what Shan said. Mondale wrote a check that his ass can't cash. Basically, what Mondale said, Shan, tell Marcus to accept the challenge. And let's schedule this shit for Patreon. It's accepted. Dwayne,
it's accepted.
We got a motherfucking road trip. Put yourself on.
Here we go. I was just waiting for the chance. Hold on. So this is a pause.
Wait.
Everybody right now.
Are you unmuted?
Yeah, no, I'm unmuted. Everybody right now, go subscribe to the Patreon. You don't know when it's coming, but make sure you don't miss it. 1-on-1, Marcus against Mondale, game to 11. Go sign up for Patreon. It's going to be live on Patreon. Me and Mondale going to take the road trip down to Atlanta, and we're going to make it happen.
Okay. This is the same guy that calls basketball sports ball. But that's all right. No worries. No worries about it. Now, see, here's the thing. If this guy had said, if Mondale had said, I want to ride the bike from Atlanta, Georgia to Macon, Georgia and back, and whoever wins, I would have been like, okay, you know what? Fine. You got me, right? You're going to beat me in that. Because I'm not going to do that in the first place. But by the time I hit Atlanta Airport, I'm going to stop by McDonald's and get me a snack pack or something. But balling?
Yo, and we taking bets. I'm saying Marcus is not going to score more than 5 fucking points.
How are you going to
I'm going to beat Marcus to 11 to 5 or something less.
Hey, I'm gonna get on the Peloton. I'm gonna get on the Peloton tonight and go 5 hours just thinking about whooping your ass. Listen, can we get to the news
Marcus,
instead of this fake news?
Hold on.
This fake news right now.
Before we get to the news, you gonna do 5 hours on that Peloton, and some white woman in California still gonna beat you. I hate the Peloton.
Hold on.
Who are these white women in California that ride the Peloton, bro? Them motherfuckers, I never come in. I'm always in number like 2,000. Like, how are these women beating me this bad?
Dude, let me tell you something. Like, I think what they do is their resistance is like at 1 billion. Like they like triple whatever. I think they triple whatever the whatever the instructor is asking you to put it on, they triple it and then just go full speed. And they're like output has to be 1,000 or something, man. But we don't have to talk about Peloton right now. But whoever those tiny little white ladies are that are just murdering people on Peloton,
keep beating my ass. I stopped
it's
doing
crazy,
Peloton because
bro.
of those white women in California. I felt,
It's
man, them white women in California need to get jobs, bro. They rich husbands fucking up the world.
You know what I mean? Yeah, all they got to do is all they do all
I know
all
you
day
want to
long.
get to the news. Listen, I know you want to get to the news, but unfortunately,
chilling, man.
Unfortunately, you can't. We got 10 minutes, brother. You have to.
Okay.
You have to get to Black History, brother.
That's right, because it's February.
Dwayne, what do we say in Black History?
Black people loving black people.
Say it again.
Yo, we wild as shit, man.
It's February, it's very scary. Black people loving black people. Black people loving black people. Black people loving black people.
Oh,
Very scary.
I guess it's just that time, huh?
It is, brother.
Yeah, it's that time. So for tonight's my Black History person for tonight's episode is a writer. I'm just gonna say she's a writer. She goes by the name of Selena Montgomery. She's won a couple of awards writing naughty books, as I told her. I told her she writes naughty books. And has sold over 100,000 copies. She
I know her. I know her.
She churns out these little naughty books at a high rate. She also used to be the minority leader of the Georgia House. And in 2017, this woman 2017, this woman called me up and was like, hey, I'm thinking about running for governor. I'm running for governor of the state of Georgia. And I cut her off and I said, are you black? She was like, yeah. I said, are you a woman? She said, yeah. I said, I'm there. Literally, that was the gist of the conversation. She graduated from Spelman College. She, y'all don't know this, but she burned the flag on the Capitol steps. Like she's kind of revolutionary, a lot more revolutionary than you realize. She started along with Nsé Ufot. She started this organization called New Georgia Project that's responsible for registering a whole hell of a lot of people in the state of Georgia. After that, she ran for the governor. She ran for governor of Georgia. Then after that, running for governor of Georgia, she started an organization called Fair than anybody else. She was a member of the Georgia House of Representatives in the 89th district and also in the 84th district from 2007 to 2012, 89th district from 2013 to 2017. She's a political warrior, man. If she watches this, I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna send texts to her and say, Bernard, Marcus Farrell was talking about you tonight. And I absolutely was, right. She ran against Stacey Abrams in the primary of her gubernatorial election. She was endorsed by Bernie Sanders and
Stacey Evans. Stacey Evans.
I didn't say Abrams. Stacey Evans.
I'm mad that you skipped my endorsement.
I wasn't finished. First. I was not finished yet. If you let me finish my fucking part, It's my part of the Black History Month segment. I don't interrupt.
I raised $500,000 for her, bro. Bernie Sanders and Al Rouge is dope. But you forgot me.
Until I do a Black History segment on Mondale Robinson, everything's gonna be about Mondale Robinson. Okay. She was also endorsed by some organization somewhere with this political director from some place. Democracy for America, and Mondale Robinson was responsible for putting that together, and it was one of the first major endorsements that she had. She was cheated out of her election. I'm just gonna say this right here. She was cheated out of her election.
She was.
And she actually won and I want to say this right here. I got in trouble for saying that I thought that she was the best vice presidential candidate. And the reason why I thought she was the best vice presidential candidate over Senator Harris at the time was because she actually won a state in the South before. Right? But she also was, instrumental in making sure that people were able to vote for Joe Biden and Ossoff and Warnock. So with that being said, thank you, Stacey Abrams. I love you, sister. If you watch this right here, you know I love you, and I'm giving you a shout out, and I'm giving you your flowers while I'm here. And you need to come on the trap and stop ducking me whenever I ask you that.
Don't worry. So I'm glad you said that, because here's the thing. I need to let you know that I already texted her and told her, even if you give our trap squad 10 minutes, it's a blessing. So I've already put out the ask to Stacey Abrams to come on the trap squad for 10 minutes, and we're trying to work it out. It's gonna happen. I'm saying it right now. Stacey Abrams will be on Clickbaity, y'all. We don't have a date yet. She's actually responding right now to my text message already. You see the 3 bubbles? She's responding right now. I already texted her. It's gonna happen, Marcus. We're gonna have Stacey Abrams on the trap squad, Marcus, and we're gonna have that's gonna be a dope show. It's gonna be like Cornel West shows, because we know who she is, and she.
Yeah, we know who she is.
That's a sister.
Like, real talk.
Listen,
we don't know I don't know the DNC Stacey Abrams. I know the Stacey Abrams that wants to argue with me about like how come progressive policies are just like. Yeah, like you don't even understand. The reason why I was on that campaign is because
she's
my job on that campaign
bro.
was to argue with Stacey Abrams. That was my job. That was one of my jobs on the campaign, was to argue for a progressive.
You remember we were in Philadelphia? You remember we were in Atlanta, and I was protesting against Stacey. There's this progressive conference called Netroots Nation. It's where all the progressives supposedly come to get together. And Stacey Evans got invited, and I was so pissed, because I was telling people, we're not the DNC. We don't invite every Democrat to speak at Netroots. Netroots is a progressive space. So when they invited Stacey Evans, Marcus, you remember, you couldn't do it, but I was doing it because you couldn't do it because you were a member of the campaign. But we created, first of all, we bought a suite so all the white national organizations can meet Stacey Abrams. But then whenever Stacey Evans started to speak, I was out screaming, protesting. I wouldn't let her words be heard, because Stacey Evans is not Stacey Abrams. And to equate the two is problematic and also detrimental to Black people in Georgia. You remember those days, Marcus. That's how long we've been rocking with this sister. So the fact that this sister is so dope, not only did she win a statewide election in Georgia, and she did. If you don't know what happened in Georgia, you should go look at it in 2018, because she did win an election, like Marcus said, and Marcus' role in that is significant. And anybody try to downplay it don't understand what happens to making Black men feel invisible. That's one thing. Secondly, Marcus, hold on. I just got to say this real quick. The sis just told me, of course, I'm reading the text message. She just said, of course, thank y'all for the invitation. Send the particulars to her people. Yo, send the particulars to her people, bro. Yo, we're gonna have Stacey Abrams on our podcast. Marcus, it's about to be stupid, super stupid, super stupid, super stupid. Because I already know we're gonna have real conversations that people ain't even ready for. Because we know shit that people don't know. But what I want to say is, well, tonight we're not just highlighting Stacey Abrams as a Black person. Marcus, thank you so much for pointing out to people that sister is dynamic beyond politics, because she's a successful erotic novelist. And what's her pseudonym? What's her writing name, Marcus?
Selena Montgomery.
Selena Montgomery is Stacey Abrams.
Her naughty books.
I call them erotica. Yo, so Selena Montgomery is Stacey Abrams, y'all. Marcus, thank you for starting out that way, bro, because what it does is it paints the picture that you can't box dope Black people in. Marcus and Stacey's Abrams connection between Star Trek and her being a prolific writer in eroticism, and in her also being a dope-ass, smart-ass strategic politician. All of that shit shows you who we are when we are free. So thank you for that. My person for Black History, Marcus, is also a Black woman. Most people don't know about her real name, Gloria Watkins, Gloria Jean Watkins. They know about Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks, which she write in lowercase letters, is her grandmother's name. We talk about Cornel West. It is improper for us to celebrate Cornel West and not celebrate Bell Hooks. These two people have been intricate in each other's lives since they started when they were young Black people in the 70s, something, at Yale. And they actually almost was in a relationship, but Bell Hooks took Cornel West's face, told him that he was a playboy, and he wouldn't commit to her. She offered to be with him, but this sister is super prolific as it pertains to knowledge, intersectionality, Black politics, and also feminism. There's no feminism, there's no feminism in the world without Black feminism. There's definitely no Black feminism without Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks has written more than 30 books. This sister, if you don't know who Bell Hooks is, the world has cheated you out of how to feel free. This sister said education has one role, and it's to alleviate poverty and oppression. This sister said education's sole purpose, sole meaning only purpose, is to provide freedom for those who are not free. I can go on and on about Bell Hooks, but you're obligated because Marcus gave y'all homework assignments to Google somebody Black. Everybody should be Googling and doing research on Bell Hooks. And then the world would tell you that her notable writings are Aren't I a Woman? Black Women and Feminism. I would tell you that everything she's ever written, the 30 books and the numerous scholarly articles, are all prolific. Bell Hooks and Stacey Abrams, who we're celebrating.
That's right, folks.
We're at that time. We're at that time. We held you 3 minutes longer than we should have, but not really, because we was talking about Black women that should be uplifted. If we celebrate and we're pissed off that Harvard won't give Cornel West tenure, we should be pissed off that Bell Hooks is not tenured at every fucking white institution in this nation. People should be sending her checks, even if she never teaches a class at their school, because of what she does to the fucking the academy.
That's right.
You can't celebrate white feminism if you don't celebrate Bell Hooks. That woman is powerful. Point blank, period. Go ahead, Marcus.
And real quick, I want to point out a clarification, a couple of things. First off, shout out to Florida A&M University's Marching 100 for being the band that is going to be playing at the 2021 NBA All-Star Game. So shout out to the Rattlers for actually scoring that gig, big gig. Shout out to the Florida A&M University Rattlers. Roland, Uncle Roland, if you ever want to come on this show and address Mondale Robinson, you can go ahead and address him straight to his face. I officially send the invite. Come on over.
I'm gonna text him tonight. But yo, I'm gonna text Roland as soon as we get off right now, Marcus. I swear to God. I owe this to the Trap Squad. I'm gonna text Roland and say, go back and watch Clickbaity. I said some slick shit about you. And I'm gonna say a little bit more. You also try to play my face in what you did as it pertains to trying to get me to speak out on some political shit that would have crippled my career, but not yours. I said it, so see me. I love you, Roland. I love you. I love you, Roland Martin. But we can have that conversation right here, bro.
And lastly, I just want to give a shout out to all of our Trap Squad members who come to us every night. Again, one more time, this is Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to our Patreon channel. Mondale, you got anything for the church?
Good, brother.
Well,
I am half of Mondale without Marcus Farrell.
And I am half of Marcus without Mondale. We are Eminem, Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Peace out. See you folks later.
Here's another show.
Trap Squad, 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 Trap Squad. Hey, Clickbaity political. Yeah, Thirst Trap, Trap Squad, Squirrel Squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah, we here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard every single weeknight. unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Clickbaity, thirst trap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you.